Hey guys, it's Greg, and today I wanted to give you guys a primer on the new Star Wars movie coming out. This was actually something that I tried to film a couple weeks ago, but it just has been a real problem for me to get through, and it's not so much a problem. I shouldn't say it's a problem. It's been a bit of a struggle, however. I'm not in a great place right now, just because I'm sick. I'm really struggling to keep up with all my responsibilities, personal, work-related, YouTube, things like that. So I'm just trying to get through as best as I can, and this video in particular, I wanted to make sure that I did, because it was something that was requested by one of my wife's friends, who had been watching some of my other videos. So I want to make sure that I do this primer so that you guys can watch this, get a little bit up to speed, kind of refresh yourself on The Last Jedi and The Force Awakening, or Force Awakens. And we'll flip those because Force Awakens comes first and then The Last Jedi. But you know, one of the big personal struggles for me with making this video is I am constantly being told, hey Greg, you need to make your videos shorter. They're too long. People aren't going to be watching that. So if I'm going to do what I want to do, and that is to recap The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, it's a real struggle. Like, how can I recap either movie in less than half an hour? It's really hard, guys. It's really hard. I mean, I'm a nerd. I love and I revel in the detail. Oh, I'm not really a nerd. I'm a geek. I'm a geek. For me, the difference is a nerd pushes things forward, a geek simply revels in it and is a big fan. So a nerd is a fan who takes things further. But I'm getting way off track because now I need to tell you guys, I'm already a couple minutes into this thing, and I haven't even started. So, well, you need to know that after Return of the Jedi, the Empire was destroyed, and we have the new Galactic Republic, which is basically the governing body in most of the galaxy, because out in the outlying states, the Empire has regrouped. They are now the First Order, and they are rallying around a Dark Force user named Supreme Leader Snoke. He has a couple top lieutenants. He has General Hux. He has Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is a former student of Luke Skywalker, who was trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. He also is Luke's nephew. He is Han and Leia's son. Unfortunately, Snoke started planting the seeds of the dark side in Kylo, and Luke saw this, reacted very poorly about it, and Kylo Ren basically destroys the temple that Luke was building. He either murders or absconds with a lot of his pupils, leaving Luke to basically go and live the hermit's life, get completely despondent, completely disillusioned, and decide that he doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. And then we meet Rey, who is kind of abandoned on this planet called Jakku, and she doesn't really know who her family is. She's just waiting because she was left as a small child, and her parents just left. They went off planet, so she's waiting for them to come back. She scavenges. She, tries to look after, or not look after, but she tries to go through the various star cruisers that have crashed into the planet. But, well, stop with the detail. Stop with the detail. What you need to know is that Rey is Force sensitive. She knows that she has this power. She doesn't understand it. She gets caught up in the Resistance, who is trying to fight the First Order while the Republic's hands are tied in bureaucracy and such. First Order basically performs a coup de grace. They have a new Death Star. Yes, I know, another one. But it's a planet now, and they basically destroy, in one shot, they destroy all of the planets that make up the Republic, the new Galactic Republic. So now there's a power vacuum. First Order is like, yeah, we're in charge now. Resistance, who was trying to fight them, is like, yeah, we're not going to let this happen. They're led by Leia, by the way. Uh, you know, kind of important that I mention that. And everyone's trying to find Luke because, again, he went off. He was all like, peace out, guys. I'm not going to do this anymore. He's like, everything about the Jedi is wrong. How could I fall into these traps and so forth? And everyone's trying to find him. He basically erases the entire coordinates, the entire planet that he's gone to from all the star charts, and there's just one map. So they're all trying to grab it. They finally figure out where he is. Rey's like, all right, let me do this. I need to go talk to him. I need to get some little Jedi training myself because something's going on here and I don't really understand it. She has this big showdown with Kylo Ren after he has killed his father in his ultimate, this is how I turn to the dark side. Keep in mind that if he's Han and Leia's child, that means Darth Vader is his grandfather. Which is like, you know, that's pretty heavy. He's, you know, he wants to continue on the family business, as they say. So they have a big battle. She kind of awakens. I know, the Force Awakens, right? She learns that she has the Force sensitivity. She learns that the Force speaks to her. She ends up getting Luke's lightsaber. She brings it to him, and he's like, chucks it over his shoulder because, again, that's just him saying, hey, I'm done. I'm not in the Force. He's cut himself off from the Force. He is so disillusioned, and he wants the Jedi Order to end because it's full of failure. Now, all of this is going on. Snoke has bridged the minds of Rey and Kylo Ren. They're able to telepathically communicate with each other. So they kind of, you know, have these talks, and you know, they're like, oh, I'm going to turn you. And they're like, oh, no, I'm going to turn you. And like, you know, it's like, it's a little like Star Wars kind of flirting, I guess. I don't know. If that's how you keep the Jedi Order keep going, I don't know. But anyways, Kylo Ren, he's pretty hard up. He really wants to kill Luke Skywalker because he feels like he was betrayed by Luke. He feels like, you know, in order for him to progress, he needs to kill the last Jedi and so forth. Long story short, Luke gives a few lessons to Rey, kind of gives her a little bit of training, but she's like, I'm going to go to the dark side. Because on this island, which houses the first Jedi temple, there is a vergence? I don't know what it's called, really, but it's basically there's a cave full of dark force energy. She goes straight there, and Luke's like, no, peace out. You didn't even try to stop yourself. We're done. We can't have any more of this. But all the while, you know, eventually he kind of changes his mind and just keeps on his the Jedi have to end vendetta, and teaches her that, you know, hey, we can't do this because the light side and the dark side, you know, the Jedi were wrong. You can't just have the light side. It's all bad. Anyways, that's a pretty poor retelling of what's going on there. But it kind of speaks to how kind of wishy-washy and convoluted the whole concept is to begin with. So anyway, Rey leaves. She goes back and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go meet up with Kylo Ren now because I have some stuff that I know, and I'm going to try to turn him away from Snoke, and I see that he has light, he has the light still in him. He's not just all dark. I'm going to save him. It looks like, no, don't go. That's ridiculous. It's not going to go the way you think it is. Kylo Ren brings Rey before Snoke, and basically Kylo Ren punks him. You know, we have this setup that Snoke is this super powerful dark side user, and he's blinded by his own ego, I guess, and, you know, he gets it set up. It's like Kylo Ren is going to ignite his lightsaber, and he's going to strike down Rey after she refuses to join Snoke. And in actuality, what he does is he uses the Force to ignite his own lightsaber and cut Snoke in half. So that's the end of that guy. And we have this big battle with all of Snoke's protectors trying to basically kill the people who killed their master, and Rey and Kylo Ren come out on top. Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, there's a white Bronco chase basically going on, a slow chase out in space, where basically the remainder of the Resistance is running from the First Order's armada, and just a comedy of errors just leads up. So they basically are running out of fuel, they have nothing left, and they're buying for time, and eventually they're able to get away. They blow up Snoke's ship, and they go down to a planet that just happens to have an old rebellion base. And who shows up to save their bacon? Luke Skywalker shows up. He's like, all right, Kylo, right here, right now, let's do this. Kylo's like, sure, I will make sure that we do this. So basically a real epic battle of master versus apprentice. And it turns out Luke has been punking him the whole time. He's not actually there. It's just an astral projection. The stress of which ends up ending Luke's life. So Luke, still back on that island, still back on that planet with the first Jedi Temple, he joins the Force. He turns into a Force ghost. We get the Resistance is able to get away. Kylo Ren is beside himself. He doesn't understand what's going on and so forth. And that is pretty much the end of The Last Jedi. So, that was a very poor retelling, and it's really, like I said, it's really hard to actually tell the story of those two movies without going into incredible detail. I know I missed huge swaths of plot that I'm sorry, I won't be able to fit it in, and gosh, it's well over 10 minutes at this point for this silly little video that it's going to be way longer than I want it to be anyways. Alright, so now we're going to start getting into what is potentially spoilers. So I just want to make that very clear. What I'm going to be talking about is stuff that is available on StarWars.com, on Wikipedia, and I also did a Google search for Rise of Skywalker new characters. So none of this is from leaks. None of this is from anything like that. I've purposely been avoiding all of that. I haven't been getting into that. So I just wanted to just very briefly talk about 5 of the characters that will be in the new movie, and kind of speculate a little bit on what their roles will be. So this moving forward from this point right here, is potential spoilers, and I hope that you will get something out of this if you stick with me. First off, we have Zari Bliss. Now, Zari Bliss is someone who wears armor and kind of, you get the feel, kind of is like a bounty hunter, kind of evocative of, Zam Wessel in Attack of the Clones, and then Boba Fett in Empire and Return of the Jedi, and, Jango Fett before him. So, it's body armor. It's not the Mandalorian armor, but, it's armor. She wears a helmet and so forth. But anyways, her deal, it's a little bit unclear. We get the feeling that she's going to be a bounty hunter, but it's more likely that she's going to be more on the gangster side, the scoundrel side. Apparently, and again, this is from Wikipedia, she has a history with Poe. She was the leader of the Spice Runners of Kijimi, which is a planet which I'm sure we will be seeing. And I kind of feel like her purpose, and I think she'll play, I'd say, a medium role in the film, because, we have the major stars, and we're going to have differing levels of participation beyond that. But I think her purpose is going to be kind of like the fulfillment of Poe Dameron's story arc. You know, she's going to be like the obstacle that he needs to get over. So they're going to, you know, have some sort of interaction that I think that he's going to have to, you know, show that he's truly moved on from that past in order to ascend to the leadership role, which he's kind of been groomed for in the Resistance, which may or may not. I kind of feel like the Resistance is going to win. I think that Kylo Ren is going to ultimately destroy the First Order, but more on that later. So yeah, I think Zari Bliss is going to be kind of a medium-size character in the story, and again, I think that her main purpose is kind of just to complete Poe's character development arc. All right, next we have Allegiant General Pride. He is a high-ranking officer in the First Order. There's discussion that maybe he plays General Hux's father. I don't know. You know, age-wise, it seems appropriate. You know, he is an appropriate older. he's older, commensurate to being Hux's father, which, you know, would be an interesting dynamic. But I kind of feel like he's not going to be, and I think that what his purpose is going to be is he's going to kind of bring the young bucks to heel, as it were, and he's going to really kind of get things to buckle down and focus. You know, these are the First Order's goals. We're going to make sure that we achieve them, and we're going to make sure that we go for them. But ultimately, I think that it's going to backfire, and Kylo Ren is going to be like, no, bump that, I'm out of here. And, you know, basically he's just going to tear everything down. But I don't have anything to base that on beside my previous theory, where I was like, yeah, Kylo Ren's going to bring balance to the Force. I don't feel like he can do that with the First Order being around, so I think that, you know, to a point, this new General Pride is going to be kind of the fulfillment of Kylo Ren, well, part of the fulfillment of Kylo Ren's character development arc. Okay, third, we have a character named Janna. Now, Janna is a freedom fighter. She is an ally to the Resistance, and we really don't know much about her at all. You know, I kind of feel like she's someone, you know, there was a quote by the actress basically talking about, you know, we have all these heroes on epic adventures and epic quests, and this Janna character kind of intersects with them. So I think that we'll see her in a couple different situations. You know, just based loosely on that quote, I think we'll see her, yeah, you know, she'll probably be involved in some battle. She might be there to give some information, kind of like Maz Kanata was, kind of just, you know, pushing the characters along, pointing them in the right direction. And I think that she might fill that role for a few different of the characters. You know, I would not be surprised to see her talking with Finn, talking with Rey, and talking with Poe at some point in the story. But again, we really don't know anything about her aside from the fact that she is a freedom fighter, which really does make her very amenable to be a character who is aligned with the Resistance. Fourth, we have our new droid. You can't have a new Star Wars movie without a new droid, and this one is geared to be fairly adorable. D-O or D0, I'm not sure what it's actually going to be. I've only seen it written out. I haven't heard someone say it, but basically it's a dog on wheels. So awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing some cuteness with that. I bet the toys are going to be really great. We see that he has a little bit of a connection with BB-8, and yeah, that's really all we know about him now. He does not seem to be someone that was made or constructed by the Resistance. He seems like he's more from like a junk trader who built his own droid to keep him company, that sort of thing. But we'll learn a little bit more about him. And lastly, we have a new alien who is by the name of Bulio. Again, we don't know very much about him, and a lot of what we know we kind of have extrapolated from a couple different sources. You know, some very scant information is on Wikipedia. He is in a Lego set, a Lego Millennium Falcon set. So he looks like he's going to be a co-pilot for Lando, who we saw in the trailers. Lando's going to start piloting the Millennium Falcon again, which, by the way, I think that they are really, really hitting the nail on the head with Lando basically coming in with a pimp cane at this point. You know, he's old, but he is still kicking ass, and I love it. You know, I love every iteration of Lando Calrissian. I think that Donald Glover killed it. I think that, you know, Billy D. Williams obviously set the bar for cool. So I'm really excited to see how that happens. And I don't know. I think Bulio is going to be a very small part, kind of like there's an alien called Nien Nunb who was Lando's co-pilot in Return of the Jedi. We know who he is, but we don't know very, very little about him otherwise. And I kind of feel that's going to be the same role of Bulio now. The press photo of him, he's wearing a jumpsuit, like a flight suit, and it seems like he's going to be the co-pilot of Lando when he's in the Falcon. So we'll see where everything goes with that. So yeah, there we go. There are 5 new characters in Rise of Skywalker, which comes out December 20th. I'm excited for it. I don't know when I'm finally going to be able to see it, unfortunately. You know, it's a busy time of year. But I hope that you're able to get out and see it. I hope that you enjoy the heck out of it, and I hope that it is the best Star Wars movie we have ever seen. Which, I gotta tell you, The Mandalorian is awesome. And I know it's not a movie, but it's like the best Star Wars I've ever seen. So I hope that it exceeds that. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share this with someone that you think would enjoy it as well. Let's get some more eyes on this. Let's get some discussion going. I want to hear what you guys think is going to happen in Rise of Skywalker. If you have read the spoilers, if you have read the leaks, do not comment. Or simply say, I have read the leaks, and don't say any more. I want this to be a largely spoiler-free zone, even though the second half of my video was all technically spoilers. But if I don't see you guys, have a very merry holiday. Whatever you celebrate, I hope that it is the best one you've ever had, and I will talk to you guys soon.